let's see. Gotta have some eggs, Trix, and Gracie. Gotta have some celery. Yep, throw that on out there too. Yep, some butter. Oh, gotta have the butter. Gonna need about 4 to 8 tablespoons. That'll work. Got that. What else we need for this here fabulous stuffing that we're about to use? Chicken stock, eggs. Oh, I think we got it all. Hey Trix, you gonna come on in here and help me chop all this stuff up? The least you can do is do the celery and tear up the bread. Gracie says she's gonna help tear up the bread. Come on, Gracie. Come on, Trix. Get on in here. Oh, God. Y'all always scare me when you come on up there so silently. When y'all crack the door, y'all need to say howdy or something. Trix is in the living room, and you know how she is. She's just so glad to see all of y'all. She don't say a word when y'all come on in the house. Come visit us in our little old country kitchen. And what are we up to today? Well, we're going to be making some of our Herbal Pennsylvania Dutch, best I can call it, bread stuffing. Yep, it's bread. Not cornbread. Yeah, I know, I'm way down in Alabama. South Alabama too. But I didn't start out here. I started up there in Pennsylvania and New York State, and before that, you know, over in Europe. So, it's bread. Yeah, it's traditional in my family on Thanksgiving and Christmas and any other time we want stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with all y'all. Well, it ain't today. It's this evening, of course. It gets dark so darn early, it's still daytime. And that. And as you saw, we got Gracie, and we got Trix in the house. Not sure we're going to get a whole lot of help from either of them. So like always, there's a lot of things y'all need to have on hand. Of course, you can always substitute in that. And if you got a little less or a little more, it really don't make no difference. And we're going to be taking this here old stuffing. And we ain't going to be stuffing a turkey, unfortunately. We ain't got one we can stuff. But you know what? We got one of them chickens. Yep. And a big one. A little under 3 pounds. It'll be plenty fine for me, Trixie, Gracie, and the outdoor kitty crew too. Trust me, it will. So come on over. Wash your hands in the sink. And get ready. Get this going on. Right here. The old country kitchen, deep South Bama. So as you can see, looks like a can full of stuff, don't it? Yep, sure does. But it ain't all that much. Especially for all the goodness we're going to be having. And that roasted chicken. Ooh, my Lord, it's going to be better than anything. And then y'all know, chicken's second cousin to a turkey, right? Okay. Yeah, you got a pizza cutter and scissors right there. I'll explain that a little bit later. But the first thing you're going to need is some bread. Oh, yeah. Not cornbread. Well, you could use cornbread, I guess, you know, in a pinch. No, what we always use, 5 generations back or more, is just old plain white bread. Now, after the 3rd generation, we may have used, you know, whole wheat bread. And of course, it's probably homemade. But Mama never did, Grandmama never did, and Lord knows I ain't gonna waste homemade bread to do this, because it ain't about the bread. It's about the whole flavorings. Yes, it is. Yep. And then you're gonna need some celery. Yep. Preferably fresh, but if you ain't, dehydrated will work. Celery seed will work as well too. I'm going to slap out of both of those right now. Something about a virus or sickness going around. I don't know. You're going to need some on your own. Yep, right there. And that's a nice yellow onion. You might need one, sort of kind of large, or two. And guess what? We just dropped that onion over in the flour. Good thing we hadn't have it peeled yet, right? Oh well. We'll go get it in a minute. Gonna need a couple eggs, 1 to 2, 4 to 8 tablespoons of butter. Yep, sure will. Some chicken broth. Yep. And then, like normal, you gotta have the seasoning. So what do we gotta have? Well, we're gonna have here some rubbed sage. Oh, and y'all already know it. I know many of y'all my age or more. You know about sage and poultry. Yep. It's yummy. And of course, some parsley flakes. And then, this is one time that I don't go with thyme leaves. I go with ground thyme. So it gets dispersed all through that yummy stuffing. And this is where I depart from over 5 generations of family recipe. I add some minced dehydrated garlic. So did my daddy. We never told my mama or my grandmama or any of the other elders. But they raved about it when me and daddy did it. Black pepper, pure ground. Some salt, of course. Some ground cloves. Oh, yep. And ground nutmeg. Hey, we talking fall flavors here, aren't we? And there you have it. That's what you're going to need, as far as ingredient-wise goes, to put this all together. Of course, we're going to have a nice big bowl, because we're going to have to get mixing this all up too. We're going to need a nice sharp knife like always, cutting board of some type, some measure on spoons, oh yeah, and since we're doing a small chicken, we're going to be using our cast iron Dutch oven. Enamel, where it is. Ooh, and this is going to roast that chicken with that stuffing in it to a perfection of heavenliness that you have yet to ever taste. Yes, it will. Yeah, don't worry about the knob being off top. We do that because we're going to be cooking it special way. We had to take the knob off. It's okay. If you ain't got one of these here enamel cast iron Dutch ovens, you might want to think about it. They're the bomb. Trust me, they are. That one's rather old. So there's we have it. And if I left anything out, as always, I'll spotlight it for you as I go, because, you know, I am getting old. You just never know. Now I gotta go hunt down that onion that got away. And I gotta wake up Trixie and Gracie. Get them out here chopping, slicing and dicing too. So stay with us, folks. We're getting it on here in the country kitchen. So what's the first step to this fabulous family recipe for herbal stuffing? Well, the first step, get the bread ready. Regardless of what kind of bread you want. Now, this is when, back in the day when I was a little bitty guy, we get involved. This when mama, grandmama, or whatever would call you on into the kitchen. cuss. And yeah, you use the heels too, children. Yeah, it'll be okay. They get you in here, and we'd start tearing this apart. You know, you want to sort of make like quarter, half-inch pieces. You know, like that. Ain't no big deal. You see what I'm saying? It don't gotta be perfect. And this is a great thing to get the kids involved in the kitchen. You get them to tearing it up and everything. You know? You start pulling together pieces of it. Just like that. And now, this is one of those recipes, for whatever reason, all the ladies in my family, at least 4 generations, always followed the recipe and measure. I don't know why. So, what they would do in their big bowl, they'd take one of these here measuring cups, and they'd put right on in there. Yep. Right in the center, they would. And then as the kids, you know, grandkids, whoever, the husbands, as if you're going to get husbands to do this, you know. They'd be tearing this up, putting it into that cup, just like that. You know, filling it up. Why? Because you need 10 cups of this. Yes, you do. And you get lazy and start, you know, making bigger pieces, as kids will try to do. And then mama and grandmama had to come over and go, nah, that ain't gonna work, guys. You go back through there, tear it up a little bit more. And you just keep tearing off pieces. Yep. When my kids were little, this is something they did. You know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, because, you know, we tried to always have turkeys. And we might not always have a turkey. We always did for Thanksgiving. And that. But we might not have a turkey for Christmas. I'd say most of the time we did. But some of the time we didn't. And why is that? Well, read such things, you know, and I always read stories to the kids. And we'd read things like, you know, Christmas story, Christmas Carol, all that. And, you know, that's where you get in there on those Christmas Goose, you know. So, guess what the kids would ask for when we'd ask them? Bad thing. They'd say, well, Papa, instead of a turkey, could we have a Christmas goose? Well, being a good papa and money being available, that was always the key, right? I tried to do what they wanted. And by that point, after getting all the Christmas presents all bought up and done, we always knew, me and the wife, whether we had enough money to do anything extra. Trust me, turkeys are way less expensive than Christmas gooses. And that maybe it wasn't back in the Christmas Carol time. So the whole point to all this is you tear the bread up, sort of looks like that, for 10 cups. There's 1 cup. And you pop it on in there. Put the cup back down. Now you could wing it, but this is the way we always did it when my great-grands and grands and mama did it. Yeah, I just followed tradition. So we got 1 cup, a little bit over, done. And this is something good to do the night before Thanksgiving or Christmas. Why? because you want these bread pieces to dry out some. I mean, it don't have to be, because trust me, sometimes in life it just don't happen. And you do it, just an hour or two before you do the turkey. It'll be fine. And the stuffing will be more moist. And that's when you gotta cut back on chicken stock, maybe eggs, stuff of that nature. Gotta use a little sense. But we tend to do this the night before, while we're all snacking on hors d'oeuvre trays and all kinds of finger foods and everything, Thanksgiving Eve, Christmas Eve. It's the holidays. Ain't about the day. It's about the day before, the day of, and the days after, right? So, you be cutting it all, tearing it all up. Now, once the kids moved off, of course, Davey ain't down to this particular time. And there's been a few times where they ain't been here. I started thinking about these kitchen scissors. And I started doing this. Taking that old bread, taking my scissors, cutting it up, little, half-inch cubes or so. And this is all about a Zen situation. See, you just cutting it right on up. Sort of like that Petri farm stuff, that you buy in one of them supermarkets and grocery stores. But hey, you can use all that. Trust me, you can. And I will admit, there has been a time or two in my life, over 64 years, that I stooped low enough to use Pepperidge Farms. That all being said, I never stooped low enough to use stovetop. Dump a couple packages, 3 or 4 stovetop in this bowl, measure them out. No, I ain't ever got that desperate. Now, you notice I'm not filling up that cup no more. That's because I know about 2 to 3 slices, about 2.5, is about a cup. Yes, I do. And you'll learn that over time. You can see I'm cutting those up about 3/8 of an inch. Yep. And like I say, this is excellent use. If you've frozen bread, and this is 2020, got their virus and all going on, and we've been freezing bread. And as much as I can't remember it being a big issue with us growing up, because Mom and Daddy always froze bread because we only went grocery shopping once a month. I've learned now, frozen bread, it ain't the same as fresh bread. But let's see here, in this cup here that we still got down there, what I remember is true, about 2.5 to 3 slices of bread is about, a cup. So, let's just see. Now, like I said, it don't gotta be perfect. Only thing that's gonna happen is, if you have a little more, a little less, it's gonna be a little moister or a little drier. But trust me, it ain't gonna be that dang good. I don't care how you do this. This is so easy. It's just hard to mess this up. It really is. And I just got to where, since I retired, that I guess engineering with me, maybe I got OCD, I don't know what. I just like using scissors, you know. Now, if we weren't doing a YouTube video and I wouldn't take a copyright strike right now, you'd be hearing some fine music. Yes, you would. It'd be just going, you know. And it's that 60s, 70s music, you know. The music that changed a generation and changed the nation. Yes, it did. We ain't seen it since then. God knows here in this here new decade, 2020 and beyond, we ain't gonna see that again. So there we go. We got 2. Yep, full cup. So that's 3. So there's my point. A little bit more, a little bit less, ain't no big deal. So let me get this all done. And plus I got to put some down the floor for Gracie and Trixie so they feel like they're helping out. And we'll come back in a few minutes and we got her all done, okay? Okay, as y'all can see, me, Trixie, and Gracie, between me a cutting and Trixie and Gracie a tearing. You know, they can't do scissors because they ain't got no thumbs. We got those 10 cups, breadcrumbs, all in this fine bowl. Yes, we do. So that's all done. Yep. We're going to set that over on the stove. But now, we got to cut up the celery right here. You might wonder why it's in this glass with some water in it. And the green onion. Well, we're going to throw them in there too, just because we have them. Well, this is a pro tip. If your celery's looking a little bit limp, cut the end off, folks. Stick it in a glass or mason jar or whatever water. And it'll suck that water up. And it'll get all nice and unwilted for you. Yeah, it'll take a little while. But, you know, cooking's not about rushing. It's about making flavors. Yep. And memories, too. And we're going to get that onion done up. Yep. Now, Trixie and Gracie have said they'll do the celery. And just for all of y'all, you know, I got to do the onion. Because kiddies can't be around onions, you know. No. So, let's get this all done. And we'll come on back and we got it all finished because we're getting ready. Start putting this stuff together. And we got a bird that's ready to be stuffed. So y'all, what we got now? We got those onion, that one onion, that one medium to large onion, all chopped up, small dice. If you don't like to taste your onions or chomp on, well, throw them in a food processor or something. You know, grind them up some more. And we got celery here, all chopped. Now, Trixie and Gracie did the celery. And it's a fine to small dice too, just the way I like it. 1 cup each. 1 cup of onion, that was yellow onion. And 1 cup of that fine pressed celery. Okay? And now, we got some butter. And now, we're going to start putting the flavor in this stuffing. It's going to be going in that second cousin of a turkey, chicken. Okay? So what we got to do next, we got to get this here old cast iron enameled pan heating up. Yes, we do. And we're going to set it at 5 right now. Now with cast iron, you got to have a little patience. Okay, kids? Got to turn the fire on and go watch, 2, 3, 4, 5 minute YouTube video, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, okay? Then come back. Do that. It'll be okay. And now we're going to throw in some of that there salted butter. Yes, sir. You want to use salted butter? You don't have to. You can use some of that there unsalted. You know, it goes bad really quick. You can use some of that there, you know, marketing craze, Kerrygold, you know, from Ireland. It ain't no better than ours. Trust me, it ain't. If I did a blind taste test between two, you wouldn't even know the difference. But we'll come on back when we're getting ready to do the most important step of the stuffing. Yes, we will. And you might think, why am I spending so much time on the stuffing instead of that roasted chicken? Well, if you'll actually do this, put this all together, you'll know why. So y'all, first thing you're going to want to do is, and that just all depends on how buttery you want to make it. You're going to put in anywhere from 4 to 8 tablespoons of butter. Just happen to have 6 there. There's some butter I'd already used a couple tablespoons from. It'll be fine. You see, more butter makes it more moist. Less butter, not so moist. But you know, you can compensate for that with the chicken stock. Or if you ain't got chicken stock, you can go back to the day when us pope only had water. Or if we, you know, just happened to be wealthy on that day, we had some bouillon cubes. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to melt that butter on in there. Yes, sir. And it's during this stage that we're going to be putting in everything into this here old cast iron nail pot that puts the flavor that we savor in that old bread stuffing. Now, I'm sure you've never had flavorful bread stuffing. Many of y'all are probably saying, oh God, that stuff sucks. No, mine don't. Trust me. And there we go. Woo, Lord, it's looking good. And we're starting to get the smell of that butter. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Now, we're going to take that 1 cup of onion and celery, and we're going to dump it on in there. Yep, just like that. We're going to make sure we get all the goodness out of there. We ain't going to leave nothing in this little bowl. Of course, you know, normally I wouldn't use this little bowl because I just cut it all up and dump it in there, you know, straight from the get-go, but I'm trying to show you what to do. Woo, and there we go. And it don't take long for that butter and that celery to start getting aromatic and start filling this house with goodness. I'm going to tell you what it don't. And of course we got our little old flat spatula that we need to get a new one. Of course, still can't find one, so oh well. Well, whatever's left of it, I'll leave to my daughter or my son or my grandson. And that's just part of it. And don't worry about your onions that you all chopped up, breaking apart and coming together. They will in time. Now, we ain't going to brown this like we normally do. What we're going to do is just get sort of, you know, kind of translucent. Now, back in the day, I'd use another frying pan to do this step, I would. But then I got to thinking about it. I'm going to be cooking the chicken in this a little bit later. Why wouldn't I want the leftover flavors down in the bottom of this wonderful enamel cast iron pot? It was sort of like one of them moments where you have an epiphany. Yes, it was. And I thought, well, I wouldn't. I want to be in here, because you know what else I do? This is where I'm going to make my final gravy. Oh yeah. And since when I buy chickens, I read the labels to make sure they got giblets. Yeah, we're going to have some giblet gravy too. And if you want to see that giblet gravy recipe, you're going to have to let me know in the comments. Now, I need at least, 50 to 100. Yeah, we want to see that. Or I might not show you because it's world famous. And it caused me more problems with my mama than I can even tell you about. In fact, it caused me enough, as you might have heard on past cooking video. She wouldn't let me help her no more on Thanksgiving or Christmas. Nope, Mama was a proud woman. Yep, I'm a proud guy too. So we got them all in there, and we're going to just sweat them down to where they're just translucent. Now, let me tell you this. If you want a little bit of bite, where when you eating your stuff and it goes crunch, you can skip this step, but you will miss out on the flavor. Yes, you will. So we're just going to leave these right here cooking till they get translucent. And then we're going to do the next most important part. That's going to be what brings us all together right before we put it in with this here, dry bread that me, Trixie, and Gracie got already. Oh yeah. So, y'all hold on, okay? I guarantee you, it's gonna be good. So y'all, now we got those things coming along in that old cast iron enamel pot of ours. We're gonna start adding this some flavor. Now, as y'all know, salt is a flavor enhancer. Yep, we're gonna add us in. Yes, we are. 1 teaspoonful. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And then we got to put in that there dietary enhancer. In case you didn't know, if you just cropped up on this video, that's black pepper. Yep, and it don't gotta be fresh ground by virgins. It can be out of the box. It'll be fine, especially if you go through it like I do. Mine gets fairly fresh. We're going to put that on in there. Yep. Those are the first two we're going to put on in there. We're just going to give it a little mix, And the reason you do your spices right now with the onion and the celery is because it'll mix up so much better with that bread. We got it on 5, so we're going to kick her on back down to low. A 1 or a 2 on our old gas stove here. Because once that cast iron comes up to heat, it holds it, baby. All you old folks already know that. So the next flavor to savor is sage. Oh yeah, and we'll be using this a little bit later on that there fabulous chicken. Oh yeah, we're gonna put this in about a teaspoon. Now don't go hog wild on this. My wife did that one time, and the stuffing all turned green. It wasn't all too pleasant. 1 teaspoon, baby. That's all we're gonna need. And then we're gonna need a teaspoon of thyme, because as y'all know, other than sage, which I rarely use except on poultry, and it's in my favorite poultry seasoning, thyme. Oh yeah. Thyme is so delectable with poultry, pork, and even seafood. Don't tell those master chefs that, okay? We're just gonna sprinkle that on in there. And then here's the one that gives it the flavor, the savor of the fall. Nutmeg. And I know I ain't got no nut that I'm grinding against no grinder like they do on all them cooking shows. But I do got organic nutmeg. It's only because nutmeg hard to come by here in my little old town. And as soon as you put that nutmeg in, that thyme, sage, oh, the smell in the house is just boosted up. It's like a freaking holiday in here now, it is. The next we're gonna do is ground cloves. Yes, we are. Ooh, the smell is gonna get delightful. Now, I ain't got an eighth of a teaspoon. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sort of wing that. We're gonna say that's a half. And we're gonna throw that in there. Okay? 1/8. You know where nutmeg was a quarter. And like always, I have all of these ingredients in the description below. Okay? Now, like I said, this is where I depart a little bit from, you know, so many generations. My family. And I go with some garlic. As you know, I cook with onion, garlic, and everything I make. And I put me in, yeah, right about a tablespoon, because I like that garlic. It's so darn healthy for us. Never could convince my mom of that, but I tried. You know that song? Mama tried? Or was it Daddy tried? I don't remember. But I'm sure y'all tell me. And then my next thing is parsley. Oh yeah. It's a subtle flavor. But it adds a little bit of character. Parsley flakes. And we're going to throw this in. You know, nice level teaspoon of that too. That ain't ground parsley, folks. That's parsley flakes. You gotta keep up with all this. You do. And there we have it. There's all the flavors that are going to be distributed and put in to that lovely bread over there. You know, this stuff. It's not dried out, son. That I keep munching on like they were snack crackers. Woo! And the smell here. As soon as Trixie and Grace smell this, they're gonna be coming out. And of course, little Gracie's tail's gonna be a jiggling and a wiggling. And she's gonna be wanting it, of course. Then when Trixie comes in, she's just gonna be disgusting. Not because we ain't cooking something she's had many times before. It's because, you know, Gracie's in. Such is life. So now we got this. Now we're ready to take this. We're gonna let it cool just a little bit. Cause see, we gotta take this, put it in here, and we gotta mix it all up. And then we're ready to get that second cousin to a turkey, chicken, all stuffed up and ready to go back in this pot. You see, with all that stuff, we're never going to be able to scrape out of it. And skin, saving the flavor. And it's one pot magic too. Okay, so hold on, we'll be right back. Gracie, did you come on in? Did you wake up? You were sitting beside my me in my chair. Now you're in here eating your Sheba. Did you smell the flavors that you savored? I think you did. The house is just smelling good. Yep. Where's your old curmudgeon, Trixie? I think she's by the fireplace in the living room, ain't she? Okay. Well, we got to get this going on. And get this here roasted chicken with stuffing on its way. Yep, we do. Think so, Gracie? As you can see, Gracie is in the house. So y'all, got our breadcrumbs here. You know, Gracie and me and Trixie all cut up. And we got our cooled off super seasoning blend of onion and celery and all those fabulous seasonings that we're going to be popping off into this bread. That's going to make the most wonderfulest of stuffings you've ever ate in your entire life. Trust me, it will. I'm telling you. And if you don't think so after you do it, you just let me know. Come back in this video in the comments and say, well, that wasn't the best I ever had. And maybe not. But if it ain't, maybe you'll share why it ain't. So, got that all out of there best we can. We don't worry about getting every last speck of it. But like I said, we're going to take this pot and we're going to be making, after old chicken gets done, some Jubilee gravy. Yep. With all them chicken juices and everything. Now what you want to do, and that, just spread it out some. The reason I do that, make sure when we get to mixing, we'll get all distributed, okay? Ooh, lordy, that's good. Now, that's when those 2 eggs come into play. I don't know why, but we do. We're going to pop one of them right over yonder. I think it's sort of like a binder, maybe. Not that it needs it. Then we're going to take the other one. Now these are medium eggs. Trust me. You could have medium, large, small. It ain't gonna matter. If you miss it, you let me know. I never did. Now we're going. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this little spatula and we're gonna start incorporate. Or you could do like I've done in the past when I was in a real hurry, not on YouTube, and I just get in there with my hands. And you start mixing it all on up. Okay? Yeah. And you know, throw it out to the outside. Throw it out to the middle. Play with it, son. That's why you need one of these big old stainless steel bowls. Of course, you could have an old plastic bowl too. Trust me, back in the day, that's all I had too. Plastic. It was okay. Now, Mama, that's what she had. She's real big on that Tupperware, she was. Me, not so much. Because I never could afford that Tupperware a whole lot. Now, you're going to wonder, well, Mr. Tommy said something about chicken stock. We're getting there, okay? Once we get all this nicely. Run around here while it's sort of kind of dry, so the breadcrumbs be soaking up that goodness, you know. Now is when we're gonna put us in some of that chicken stock. Yes, we are. So let me get that out and let's do it. Crazy. Now y'all, got our measuring cup right here, you know, one of them Pyrex things and that. Now depending on how wet or dry your bread cubes are, depends on how much you put in there. Anywhere from 1/3 of a cup to 1 cup. Now mine are fairly dry, so I'm going to go 2/3 of a cup. Because I also know from experience, you know, that chicken, you know, second cousin to a turkey, is going to put out a lot of juices. And that's the magic about stuffing. It soaks all them juices up, it does. Right, Gracie? And guess who's in the house now? In the kitchen. Trixie. Yeah. As you might imagine, she ain't happy. So anyway, we got that on in there. Now, we're just gonna mix her up a little more. If you don't feel it's all moistening up based on how dry your breadcrumbs are, you pop a little more in. Maybe you might even need more than a cup. That'll be fine. It ain't no big deal. And always make sure you're getting in that center, kids, and bringing it out and bringing that center in. Because a lot of times, those wet ingredients and all that seasoning, they tend to concentrate in the center there. Anyway, pro tip there. In case any of y'all are looking to start a 5-star restaurant. Now, we're ready to get that chicken out and start stuffing its butt. Now y'all, what I've done here in my big old stainless steel bowl with my stuffing in it that's been sort of kinda soaking up all that goodness, seasonings, spices, and chicken stock. So I made me a well in the bottom of it, because this is where I'm gonna stuff my turkey or no, this time ain't a turkey, it's a chicken. But this is where we're gonna stuff it, right here in this bowl. Hold on, let me go get it. Okay, here we got this little jewel right here. This little, ain't but about 2.8 pounds of, coddled, rubbed, pastured chicken, which we would never got had it not been on sale. You know, and what you do, you just take this stuffing in your hand and you just drop it into that cavity and you stuff it. That means put it down in there and press it on in. Yeah, now you're gonna see, since we made a full recipe of this stuffing, that we're gonna have way more stuffing than what this little bitty chicken is gonna hold. Yep, that's a fact. You know, you see in those other cooking shows where they be putting all kinds of veggies in the cavities, you know, onion, carrots, celery to get flavor. Can you imagine all the things that I done put in this stuffing that are gonna flavor this here chicken? Or if it was a turkey, it'd do the same thing. let me tell you, even if you ain't a stuffing connoisseur, you're going to want to do this just to flavor your chicken. Yep. See, you just pack it on in there. So, just as tight as you can get it. Oh yeah. Now, when it cooks, it's going to sort of poke on out a little bit, but that'd be okay. Okay? See what we got? Its whole butt end, or body cavity, kids, it's all full. Now, and the reason we do this in the bowl, see, getting some of them spices all over it. There's another little place right up here called the neck cavity. Cause we got neck over there, you know, with giblets and a whole nother pot starting to just simmer for my world famous giblet gravy. Got me in so much trouble with my mama. It's probably good that my grandmama and my great grandma passed, or they wouldn't have liked me much either. And you know, I've mentioned that story before. Mama told me to make gravy one time. I think she did just because she thought I'd screw up. And no, because I make gravy with no lumps in it. Now it wasn't that Mama's gravy wasn't delectable and fine, but Mama always made gravy with lumps. Not on Mr. Tom. He was taught by a world-class chef down in New Orleans. He was, of course, down there along the bayou. You know, the start of a gravy or stew or whatever, they tend to call a roux. Yep, it's still the same process, trust me. So there you have it. We got that neck cavity all filled up too. We do. We packed it in there just like we packed in the butt end. Yep. And don't worry. Now, what we got to do, we got a timer going off because that's on the giblets for us to check them. We got to get this in that enamel cast iron Dutch oven, and I'll show you what we do then to get this chicken finally prepared to be the most delectable chicken you've ever ate in your entire life. Trust me. So now we got our little chicken stuffed up here, and we got to get it ready to go in the oven. But the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure our chicken is nice and moist, not moist. You're going to take your fingers just like that, and you're going to separate that skin from the breast. You are. See that? Just take a couple fingers. See? I don't know if y'all can see that, but you just slide them up under there, wiggle them around, you know. I could say a few things here, but wouldn't be appropriate mixed company. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take, wait for it, some bacon. Favorite brand. We all know the breast gets a little bit dry, and you're going to take that bacon and you're going to tuck it on in there under that skin. You're going to make sure you get it all the way down there by the neck, down there, tuck it on in there to the thigh. And you're going to take another slice, and these are half slices, by the way. So you're going to want to need about 4 slices. Your favorite bacon, and that. And that, some people use butter, and I've done that before. You know, back in the day, I used to make an herb butter and do that, especially on my turkeys. And woo, lordy, that was good. Trust me, it was. And that, but the butter, even though you make, you know, a butter paste, it all tends to run down. And the thighs, the wings, they're just really moist. The breast, yeah, it'd be okay. Of course, I know some of you ladies are saying, well, that's why I use Butterball. Well, bless your heart. Even Butterballs will dry out in the breast and that. But we have a cure for that too. So, we got us 2 on either side, covering up those nice breasts. We'll pat that little baby. Grace said we need to. And we're going to take another one. We're just going to bring it right down the center there. Yep. Cover that up. We're going to take this other one right here. And we're going to work that down because, you know, we got a little place here. Not totally covered up. I mean, you cannot have too much bacon, can you? And we're going to get that on. Now you can use thick cut. You can use applewood smoked, whatever. And then what you want to do, even though that's going to shrink back up, spread that skin right back over it. See, right there. Now we got to bring over our cast iron enamel pot. Right there it is. Hope y'all can see that because I ain't looking at the camera. It's just me. And we're going to take this thing. Yes, we are. You can see it ain't cleaned out. It's sort of nasty, but that's okay. We'll make sure we give that stuffing just another little poke in its butt. It's going to poof out, we know. It'll be okay. And we're going to plop it on in there, just like that. Yeah. And you see, if you ever had a problem where the skin pulls back from the breast and then the breast gets way too brown, dry and stringy, this will take care of it. And since we used 4 pieces, we got a couple pieces left. So we're just going to lay them over, protect that breast. Just like this. Oh yeah. And we're going to make that Jubilee gravy in this pot too. Can you imagine? With bacon, drippings, giblets, butter, and all the seasoning from this? What this is going to be like? Oh my God. It is so wonderful. Let me show you my favorite brand. Those of you who go shopping with me, you'll know. Hotel brand, hardwood smoked bacon, thick slice. This is the ticket. It used to be the best. You know, like going to the Ritz. Now I know you youngins don't know what the Ritz was, but it's world famous, world class hotel. So now she's ready to go into the oven, but we ain't gonna put it in just this old big old oven that sucks up the juice. We're gonna go into the senior cooking center. Yep. And I'm gonna show you where it's going and why we took that knob off our little old lid. Yes, I will. See, there it is, all ready to go and go into the oven. And we got about half as much left. Now I used to take this, get out a sheet of foil, roll it up into all a nice big ball, and throw it in the oven with the chicken, corn game hands, or whatever I was doing. Now this, like I say, is enough to make, you know, a 18, 22 pound bird. Pack it full. And as you know, we're just doing under 3-pound chicken, so we got more than half left. So we're gonna, after we get this thing to cooking, we're gonna scoop it all out of here with all of its goodness with our hands, you know, right here. And we're gonna put it in the freezer bag, slap it in the freezer for the next time. Because there's plenty enough here. Do one more time. Pro tip again. You make it up ahead of time. Ain't even gonna hurt a thing. So, let's get on to cooking this yard bird. My world class, famous 5th generation stuffing. Yes sir, let's do it. Oh, I forgot to show you. For those of you kids and youngins that don't know, pay attention. You get some of those delectable goodies inside your chicken. Neck, livers, gizzards, and a heart. Don't throw them away. If you want to know why, let me know in the comments. I will gladly show you a recipe that'll knock your mama's panties off. Yep. Sorry about that, lady. So, y'all, we're ready to throw this on in the oven. I know you think it's taking a while. Well, that's just because of YouTube. You know, it takes a while to show you every last aspect of it. Because good cooking takes time. Need more time when you're doing a video. So here it is. All done up, stuffed, packed full of that delicious goodness. Plus, went ahead and seasoned the outside. Got the bacon under the skin. Bacon on top where the skin might be exposing our little breasts. And we went ahead and seasoned the outside, like I said, with salt, pepper. Just sprinkle it on, whatever, how much you'd like. Some poultry seasoning. Some garlic powder. And some onion powder. Yep, we did. You see it right there. So, that skin, that's another thing. Ain't gonna get to the meat when you do this. Now, I don't care if you take all the skin off, still ain't gonna get to the meat, just be on the outside. Kids. So, there it is. And as you can see, the old pot's a little dirty, cooking up stuff. But that's all gonna blend together. We make our world famous Jubilee Gravy. Trust me, it will. So, let's get this on going. Because it ain't going in the big old oven. It's going right here in the senior cooking center it is. Yep. Toaster oven. That's why we had to take the knob off our cast iron enamel pot. So it'll fit. Okay? So let's get this on in there. Right now. It's all heated up to 400 degrees. And we're going to chunk it on in there. Because Gracie's getting impatient. And Trixie, she'd already got impatient. Ooh, yeah. And I am impatient. Put that on. Open up the dough. And put her on in there. Oh, yeah. And this is a big toaster oven. Woo, let me show y'all. This is a really big toaster oven. You see that? That's why I had to take the knob off the top. Yep. Plus, I think it's plastic. Might be Bakelite. It might survive. But I'm not sure it had enough room. Anyway, I always take it off. And there it is. Now, in a regular oven, my gas oven, this will go for hour to hour 20. But here's the thing. Toaster ovens don't have the mass. That's one of them there, math and physics and engineering things. They'll take longer to cook. You want to make sure you get your chicken, you know, down, thickest portion, down to thigh meat, up to about at least 160. Because it'll climb to 165, trust me it will. And the stuffing to 160. So everything's safe. FDA is happy, you know, the government. So there it is. So we're going to come back and stick it with a thermometer in about an hour. to hour 20. Okay? Oh. And I'll know when it's getting close. Because the smell in this house will be slap your pants off delightful. And Gracie and Trixie, they'll be a screaming for their chicken. Well, y'all, it finally got done. It took 1 hour and 30 minutes. Woo, God, it's nice and warm it is. Did y'all see that steam coming off of there? And we ain't got one of them there digital checkers. We had to use old school, you know. I think we've had this thing 40 some odd years. Still works. And like I told you, we stuck it in stuffing. Because that's the one thing that old FDA, they don't want you to be stuffing your bird, you know. But come on over here. I'll show you where we're at, okay? So you know it's all safe. Mr. Tom ain't gonna die, okay? Now look at that. That stuffing is at 180. Now it was exactly at 160 when I took it out. It went a little bit over. You know? She's plenty fine. They'll be fine. It ain't overcooked. Now we're gonna stick it down here in the thighs. You wanna stick it there in the thigh, and it's the same. About 184. They'll be just fine. And trust me, when I stuck it when it first come out, it's right at 160, 165. And that's something I'm here to tell you about. Once it gets up to about 160, bring it on out, because it'll continue to rise 5, 10 or more degrees as it's sitting there cooking in this cast iron. It's been sitting here now about 10 minutes, so we're kind of resting. And we're going to let it sit a few more minutes. And I got to get everything put together so I can have my meal, okay? And let me show you. There's Gracie. She's sort of being a little hoglet. She's over eating out of Trixie's bowl. Trixie's pissed at me. And that, she's over in the living room, laying beside the fireplace. Oh, Trixie, 19 years old. She's having issues, especially with the cold. See, one to the left is Gracie's bowl. Well, that's the second time today she's eats out of Trixie's bowl, and then she'll come over and eat out of hers. I don't know what to say about that. But that being said, but just look how marvelous that there chicken looks, okay? And then what we got to go with it tonight, and it's starting to get late, we got some cheddar, cheese, mashed taters. Yes, we do. Yep. Don't know why. I had some cheese that needed to be used up, so I threw them on in there. Not thinking that I was going to be making some world-class Jubilee gravy. Ooh, yeah. And this stuff's dynamite. Trust me, it is. I can make up a batch of this and eat it on rice, taters, or even old cheap white bread. Now I'm happy. And if y'all want to know how to make that, I'll do a video on it. Trust me, I will. So let me get this all plated on up here on the deluxe blue rim plate. China, from China. And we're going to have dinner tonight. Oh, and if you think for a minute Trixie isn't getting hers, she's getting to eat in the living room next to her heater, the fireplace. Aren't you, Trix? Gotta take care of them kitties first. Trust me. And oh, we'll show you Gracie too before I show you what I gave Papa. Yes, we will. Right, Trix? That's darn good, ain't it? You getting breast meat, top of the line there, Trixie. So now we come back on in the kitchen. And Gracie, who has been under my feet the whole time, I have to scuff around the kitchen, reminds me of Trixie when she was tiny. Or I'd step on her. Even though, look at this, wet food there, Friskies. Wet food there, Friskies. Kit and caboodle, water. There's hers right there. She getting a half a breast too. And of course, we're gonna cut up a bunch of it and take it out to the outdoor kitty crib. Yes, we are. And now here's old Mr. Tom's plate. Right here. Yep. And I got me thigh, a wing. I got me a drumstick hiding in there. This is a little chicken. And a slab of breast. Look at how glistening that is and how moist. Got me some cheddar cheese mashed taters with my giblet gravy and my stuffing that y'all were probably tired about hearing about. It took so long. Sitting there all golden brown with a little bit of giblet gravy all over red. And now the kitchen's just a disaster. That, once I eat, I gotta start cleaning up. And the kitties ain't gonna help. So y'all, you know, as always, we gotta do a taste test. And right here, got some of that there world-class stuffing with giblet gravy and just a touch my cheddar cheese mash with giblet gravy too. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, that stuff, even without the chicken or turkey, pheasant, grouse, whatever. Oh, you'd stay in line for it. Trust me, you would. Let's get a little piece of this chicken. Hold on. Got a little piece of chicken and some of that golden, crispy brown skin. So we seasoned all up. Oh yeah. Putting that bacon on those breasts like that. With all those spices I put on that chicken. Flavored up that skin. Oh my God, you don't even want to eat the skin. And this is moist chicken. So if you've ever made dry chicken or dry turkey, nothing more. Remember that tip about the bacon. You'll thank me for it. So y'all, I'm hungry. It's 8 o'clock in the evening. Me, Gracie, Trixie, and the kitty crib. Gonna get to eat. So, like always, till we see you on the next video, y'all take care out there. Stay safe wherever you are. Take all them precautions. Pray for the essential workers and those that have no choice but to work. And those that defend us in countries so far away. Yeah, sort of been forgetting about them lately, and I shouldn't. With all that said, I do hope and pray you enjoyed the video, and that God will bless you, your family, friends, and loved ones. Till next time, folks. Bye for now. Gracie, I'm starving. I've been going at this for what, 4 or 5 hours. Don't take that long. It just takes that long to video, and I got 2 or 3 hours just to clean up. Oh, later on.